I've always said that at the end of the day, what we need is a reform of the system. And I think that goes beyond who's chief of police. But for me, the Blue Ribbon Panel report has been a game changer. It's the first time that you have an outside entity, in this case 3 judges, 2 appointed by Jerry Brown, 1 actually appointed by Ronald Reagan, and 7 law firms that have looked at the operations of the police department and are saying, we have a serious crisis. And not just anecdotal information, but actually concrete, specific information that shows a department out of control. It shows that there is a lack of transparency and oversight of this department. It shows that there may be actual racial profiling with stop and frisk. And to me, when you look at the totality of this report, it's an indictment of the police chief. It's actually an indictment of the mayor. And I think that given the serious findings of this report, I don't see how this chief can implement systemic change. The allegations are so serious to the point that I think that it then becomes a distraction who the chief of police is. And what I want is to focus on the systemic change that is needed. And I think at a minimum, what we need is a change in the leadership of the police department. But beyond that, I think we need to change the way in which the city leadership is addressing this issue. This is an indictment of what the mayor has failed to do. It shows that the mayor has not provided the leadership that is needed to actually have systemic reform. At a minimum, I think that once we have begin the process, as Supervisor Kim has noted, of looking for a new chief, I think the mayor should do what he has refused to do so far, which is to call for the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department to come in. And why is that important? Why is the Civil Rights Division important over COPS, the community-oriented policing? Because the Civil Rights Division has the legal authority to actually require change. The review by COPS is non-binding. A Civil Rights Division actually has the ability to come in and impose a consent decree through a federal court if it wanted to. The other thing the mayor should do is call upon the police department to develop, along the lines of what the public defender has raised, an internal unit that looks at issues of discrimination. And quite frankly, I think that we need a change in the policies around use of force. I think that it's a mistake for the mayor to continue to go down the path of getting tasers without actually first addressing the systemic changes that are needed. One of the things that I know needs to happen is that, given the lack of leadership by the mayor, I think the board needs to step in. And I know that we in my office are working on a number of changes, including addressing the fact that right now the OCC, the Office of Citizens Complaints, which is supposed to provide oversight to the police department, is not really doing the job that is needed. And when you think about it, systemically, it can't right now as it's currently structured, because the mayor controls the police department, and then ultimately the mayor also controls the agency that is supposed to oversee the police department. The OCC should be under a different agency, it should not be under the mayor. And we're going to take steps to address that issue. I think that this is an opportunity for San Francisco to get this right. And I think, unfortunately, we are where we are. And I think that if the mayor had shown, in my view, more leadership, that we wouldn't be where we are today.